Thank you very much. Thank you. And on the eve of the European elections in May, I wrote a letter to my 8-year-old son. And I told him that Europe is the work of generations, each with their own concerns, their own dreams, but all of them convinced that we're stronger together. And I told him about my grandparents, for whom Europe was most of all a matter of peace and war. And the coal, because my granddad was a coal miner, that his great-grandfather dug up from the mines in the province of Limburg, was not only key to the economy at the time, but was also the key ingredient for waging war. And this is why working together in the area of coal and steel made sure that we work together rather than turn against each other. And I told them about the generation of my parents, his grandparents, for whom there was an additional benefit, which is economic prosperity, the Wirtschaftswunder. And then for my generation, of course, the sky was the limit. When the wall came down, there was freedom of movement. We could go anywhere, study anywhere, work anywhere. And then I look at him, and I picture him 4 years ago on Avromanches-les-Bains, a beach in Normandy, which for him is just a beach. But for those who know European history, it's one of the D-Day beaches. And only the caissons in the water reminded of the fact that once this was one of the stages of a key event in the Second World War. And when I look at him, I hope you will never have to realize what this beach once was for earlier generations. And then I'm worried. Because for his generation, prosperity is something like the sun coming up every day. Peace in Europe is automatic. He doesn't question it. And I'm a bit afraid that if we take these things for granted, we don't fight for them anymore. And this is why I am in European politics, to stick my neck out. To not belong to the generation that actually closes shop on Europe. This is why I'm here. And I think the EPP should be that party of generations and should always be working with the young as well as the old. Let me give you a number of examples. I'm worried that his generation will need the skills to actually be prepared for hard competition from China. Can he still see the difference between the truth and lies when it comes to fake news coming from Russia? All these issues are issues that we as EPP have to work about. And what is then going to be necessary for us in the 5 years to come? It is clear language, developing ideas and being very, very honest to our citizens. One example in the fight against climate change. There are those who actually do this to the next generation and say, listen, there is no climate change, that is all fake, we don't need to do anything. You will find them on the extreme right, you will find them on the extreme left. And then there are those who point at you. You cannot fly to Barcelona for your anniversary. You are not allowed to do this, not allowed to do that. You have to change and insulate your house, even if you can't afford it. That is not EPP. EPP is always the party of the outstretched hand. That takes people along and that says, how can we help you? This is what I want us to be on the topics that we might find difficult, where we might think the Greens have an advantage, but they don't. Because we are the party of the outstretched hand. This is what we should always be. And this is why I hope I can get your support for being Vice President of the European People's Party. Thank you very much.